Reformer here. Thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Reformer Pilates class. Today we're focusing on exercises that would be beneficial for pickleball players. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America, and there are injuries that occur on the pickleball court. We are going to be focusing on ankle strengthening for ankle injuries, strengthening around the knee area for knee injuries, and upper body and arm strengthening for those shoulder injuries. I do not work in half springs. I have one medium spring on my machine. That is one red to begin class. We are going to be changing our springs a lot in this class. There's a lot of spring changes because we're working on those delicate areas up in the shoulders. We'll be doing other exercises that will require more weight, other exercises that will require less weight. So there are a lot of spring changes in this class. Please go ahead and listen for those. I have my headrest up. I have my handles on. We are going to begin by straddling the machine near the end of the mat or the carriage. So I am hugging down the machine ever so gently with my calves, squeezing my inner thighs to get those just warmed up a little bit. My legs and my feet are going to slide gently along the floor for this first exercise, so you don't hold on so tight that you don't move. I'm going to place my hands wide on the foot bar. My hands are flat on the foot bar, but I'm going to place a little bit more weight in my pinky blade edge. And widen my shoulder blades and tweeze the bottom tips of my shoulder blades, so I'm putting more emphasis on the underside of my arms rather than up in my neck and trap area. Draw my ribs in, draw my belly button up and in. We're just going to do a little bit of an articulation, almost like a spine stretch to begin class. That's why our feet are going to slide. We're moving the carriage not with our feet, but with our hands. So if you want to hover your feet, please do so. If you find you can't stop from moving your feet. I'm going to press out and look in at my springs. I'm going to tighten my ribs. I'm going to drop my shoulders and drop my belly button to my spine. When I come in, I'm going to press down my pinky blade edge and lift my sternum to where the wall is ceiling me. And press back and articulate back. And pull it in and do a tiny baby back extension. Nothing's popping up or down. I'm just lifting my chest ever so gently. One more. Now from there, I'm going to leave my right hand on. I'm going to flip my left arm up, bicep by my ear, press into my pinky blade edge of my right hand to keep my shoulder down, and side bend to where the wall and the ceiling meet on the right side of my body. I'm going to use my obliques to pull myself back up again. Place my left hand on the foot bar, press into that pinky blade edge, bring my right bicep up by my right ear, and side bend to the right side, and come back up. Now on this next set, please make sure that the hip on the same side as the arm that's lifting is not lifting up. We want to anchor that hip so we can really find that stretch. We're going to be doing the same series of exercises. There's 3 exercises where we're straddling the machine at the end of class as well. And now come back up to sitting up tall. Draw your ribs and draw your belly button in, widen those shoulder blades. Bring your right hand to the left side of the machine. Float your left hand around. Now maybe at the beginning of class you can only find the carriage, that's fine. Press yourself up nice and tall and try to look at your uprights. Otherwise, place your pinky blade edge on your shoulder blocks as you rotate. Come back to center. Bring your left hand to the right side, your right hand back to the shoulder block or carriage. Press down to sit up tall. No arching, but really finding the length and the space in between each vertebra, and look back towards your uprights. Don't pull yourself into the space. Lift it up. This is just a warm-up, guys, right? We're not cranking our body into the exercise we want. We're just warming it up gently. No point in cranking our body around and causing injury. We have one more to each side, and then we're going to go into footwork. So you're ready when we go into footwork. We're going to place 3 to 4 springs on the machine. Come back to center. I'm going to place 3 more springs on my machine. On my machine, I use 3 heavy, 1 medium. That is 3 greens and 1 red. If you want a neck pellet, please find one. We're going to come down the line. We're going to start on our heels, old school. We're going to squeeze our legs together. I have my heels on. Everything on the interior aspects of my legs and feet are touching. I'm gonna inhale it out, adjust my feet as needed in case I'm feeling a little slippy, and exhale it back in. Go ahead and place your thumb on your ribs and your fingertip of your middle finger down on your hips. And try to make sure that nothing's tucking or tilting when you're doing this. And you're maintaining a nice neutral spine the entire time. We really want to press from the glutes and the hamstrings here. Using these muscle groups will also help to create stability when you're doing pickleball. Obviously there are trips and slips and all of that stuff. But the more we strengthen these areas, the less likely we are for injury, right? Now come back in. Now rotate the femur and the hip socket to open your knees and open your toes. Heels together, toes apart, knees tracking over your big toes. Maintain a neutral spine and press out. Rotating the entire time, and rotate the entire time as you come back in. Inhale out, exhale in. Still on your heels. Now, make sure that you're not tucking or tilting in your pelvis by placing your middle fingertip on your hip bones and your thumb on the tips, the bottom tips of your ribs. Here's 6. Everything we do today in Footwork is going to be on the heel first and then on the toes. So we're working the back chain of the leg to begin, and when we go to our toes, we're going to work the front of the leg. One more. Really squeeze the glutes. Good. Now, keep your feet in Pilates feet and slide them to a wide second position so your heels are on the outside of the foot bar. Place your fingertips on your hips and ribs again, and now press it out, continuing to rotate. And continue to rotate as you come back in. Don't lose the integrity in your inner thigh, meaning don't allow your inner thigh to flop out. And also you want to make sure that your knee's tracking over your big toe to protect the integrity of your knee so that you're not unnecessarily straining it. There's no point in strengthening it if we're just going to mess it up, right? So we really want to pull up, up, up on the muscles on the kneecaps and in. One more. Now from here, we're going to stay in this wide second position and just bring our toes into a forced arch, demi-point, high heel position. The weight on the foot bar is between my big toe and my second toe. I'm going to put my hands back on my hips and ribs, and I'm going to press out, growing tall, 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 rotating the femur and the hip socket. I can feel the work in the front of my thigh or my quad. Adjust as you need to. As you press out, pause and think of narrowing the pelvis, and then come back in. Keep it going. I'm fine if you want to exhale out and inhale back in to change your breath pattern. Just as long as you're still breathing, right? Try to find a pattern though. Keep the high heel position the whole time. This is the last one. Now, since we're in Pilates feet, we're going to keep our feet exactly where they are on the foot bar in the turned out position, but we're going to slide it in to the Pilates feet where our heels are together, toes apart, knees apart. Now we're going to press it out in a high heel position. So, for a lot of us, this is higher than we would normally be in our Pilates feet. It's fun to do it today. That's what we're going to do. My trainer, Katie Rowley, loves to toss this in there from time to time. And it's nice because the spring tension is heavier, so it is going to work the whole leg a little bit more, right? Try to still squeeze from the glutes and use your inner thigh to squeeze your legs together. Rotate the femur and the hip socket to come back in. Here's 8. Here's 9. And here's 10. Now from there, we're going to stay in the high heel position like we were discussing and bring it back into the old school mega leg position where everything on the interior aspects of your legs are squishing together. We would like all 10 toes on, and then we're going to press out. On my body personally, my ankles don't go together when all my toes are on, but I am trying to keep my knees and our thighs and calves together as much as possible. Make sure you're not tucking or tilting. One more, squeeze those glutes. Actually, we're going to press out one more time, I lied. Now, drop both heels under for 1 2, 3, and lift. 2, 3. Make sure you're not shifting, so you're not tugging and tilting through this exercise. Really squeeze the glutes to try to keep the backs of the body completely still. Here's 5, and lift. And 6, and lift. Ankle exercises for ankle strengthening. Good for high heels, good for espadrilles, good for pickleball. We're not done with those ankle exercises. Stay up at the top, drop the left heel under and the right knee over the foot bar. Press both feet up and then drop the right heel and both feet up. Now make sure you're not rocking and rolling. You want to keep your body completely still. Squeeze your glutes. We are going to go slow for this. Normally, I tell people to speed up if they like to, but let's go really slow for that good ankle work. Here's 5. 6. 7. 8. Really squeeze the glutes to lift. 9. We're going to 10. So final set. And after this, we're going to change our spring tension again because, like I said, we do. Drop your heels under, micro bend your knees, hang out for just a second, and then come into the foot bar. We're going to roll onto the sides, come up to sitting up tall. We're going to change our spring tension down to 2 springs. I recommend 1 medium spring, 1 heavy spring, or 2 heavies. That would be 1 green and 1 red for medium heavy, and 2 greens for 2 heavies on my machine. I wouldn't go necessarily to a purple, unless you want to do one purple, right? We're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to be working in parallel on our toes. I'm going to extend my right foot over the carriage. Now, the tendency is to hike one hip when we do, so go ahead and place your thumb on the bottom of your ribs, and then your middle finger, your pinky finger at the top of your hips if it's easier to find that. Now extend your leg over, don't shift in your hips. Don't shift, don't shift, don't shift, don't shift. Press the carriage out, come to high heel, float your leg up. Flex your foot, bring the carriage back into the bumper, and bring the foot back over the foot bar without moving in your body. Now point and lift, and flex and lower and bend. Now I'm straightening my ankle side press out and I'm bending it all the way back in. Additional ankle work, right guys? Here's 5. Really pull up. 6. 7. 8. Here's 9. And here's 10. Now come all the way back in. Now leave your hands on your hips and ribs. Place that foot back on. Now extend the other leg. My tendency is to hike my hip on this side, so I really want to make sure that's not happening. I'm going to point my foot, my ankle's relaxed in my right leg. As I press out, I'm going to straighten my ankle, float my leg up to the ceiling, flex it, and bend my right knee, relax my ankle as my foot comes across the foot bar and point and lift. And flex and lower. Here's 4. Here's 5. Make sure you're not shifting in your body. 7. Here's 8. And 9. And here is 10. All right, from here we're going to go ahead, come back up. We're going to change your spring tension again. We're moving into some upper body curl up work. So I'm going to change to 1 medium, 1 light spring. On my machine, that's 1 red, 1 blue. If you would like to do more curl up ab related work with less arm work, you would go to a lighter spring on this. 1 red, 1 blue. So we're going to come back down. I'm going to locate my handles, bring my fingers over my sternum, squeeze under my arms, bring my legs to tabletop. I'm going to inhale again, I'm going to exhale to curl up. Inhale to lower. exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Whoop, I'm gonna scooch away from the shoulder blocks. It's a little too close. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, I'm adding on. I'm gonna exhale to lift, extend my left leg. Don't shift in your hips, right, like we were working on earlier. Remember when we're doing footwork, just move the leg. Keep it going. And inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale. Reach long. Now stay up, just move the leg. Now left leg and pull, and right leg and pull. I'm hovering my arms off the mat. I'm not crunching my chin to my chest. So I'm keeping a nice continuous curve in my spine. Leave your legs up, curl down. Inhale, exhale to curl up, extend your legs, turn out to Pilates feet. Turn back to parallel, pull them in, and curl down on the inhale, and exhale to lift and extend. Pilates feet, parallel, tabletop, lower, and up, Pilates feet, parallel, pull into tabletop. Stay up if you want, and extend it parallel, Pilates feet, parallel, tabletop, and extend. Pilates feet, parallel, tabletop. Keep your neutral spine completely still. Now stay there and begin pumping for hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze your butts. Squeeze your inner thighs. Here's 3. Really reach long for the footwork. Imagine that you're holding an orange or an apple under your chin. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. My favorite one I ever heard was imagine you have an egg under your chin. You don't want to lift your chin and lose it. You don't want to crunch it, get yoked in your shirt. 3 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Curl up deeper. Final set. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull it in. Lower it down. Rest your feet. Peg your straps. Scooch away from the shoulder blocks. So we're going to hold on to our pegs or our shoulder blocks as if we're holding stinky socks with our pointer fingers and our thumb. That's what my trainer, Katie Rowley, says. So I lift my feet up. I don't want to tuck. Drop that tailbone heavy. Turn your feet out to Pilates feet. Squeeze your glutes. Now we're going to do the double leg lower left. Lower 1, 2, 3. And now lift. Lower 1, 2, 3. And then lift. Lift your elbows up slightly. You don't want them open, right? Flaring your ribs. Close those ribs. Lower 1, 2, 3. Lower 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more. No tucking the tail on the lift. If you're doing that, you're using momentum. Draw your knees into a tight little ball. Drop your head rest. We're going to do a reverse ab curl. We're going to do 5 holding onto our stinky socks and 5 with our arms to the ceiling, plugging our shoulder blades into the mat so we can all laugh about how far we cannot come up with no support. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail and lift. If you're going like this and swing your legs over your head, that's cheats, guys. That's cheats. Keep in a tight ball, imprint your spine, peel your spine off the mat, place it back, find neutral. Imprint your spine, peel it off the mat, place it back, find neutral. Oh my gosh, my glasses are fogging up. Oh, I can feel myself really pulling my pegs. This is going to be really embarrassing when I lift my arms now. My arms are not right in front of me. They're the width of the reformer, so it's easier for me to plug my shoulder blades down into the mat. Now I'm going to imprint my spine, peel my tailbone off, lower it down, find neutral. I'm not able to come even half as high as I was, and I'm definitely not using my shoulders. Here's 3. And 4. Now one more. You guys, we're doing great. Don't discount how much support you get when you have your hands on the pegs. Now I'm going to come up to sitting up tall. We're going to be moving on to Swan. So we're going to need our box. We're also going to need a sticky mat if you want it for the box, doing the box work if you're a slider. Also, while you're doing that, go ahead and grab your squishy ball because we're going to need that in a little bit as well. So I'm going to come off to the side. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my springs to 1 red. That's 1 medium on my machine, 1 red. Then I'm going to come over, grab my box. I'm gonna place it in the long box position. If I want my sticky mat, I'm gonna place it in the middle of the box so I don't slip and slide during this exercise. My pants are very slippy today. I'm gonna be using it. One hand on the foot bar, other hand on the foot bar. One leg up, other leg up. Place your sternum in 12 grip or bra strap at the front of the box. Make your body as neutral as possible. My face scrapes my foot bar. So, that's fine. If you have to lift up a little bit, try to remain as neutral as possible. We're gonna draw our belly up as if we're wearing a crop top and the table below us is crazy cold and we don't want to touch it. We're gonna bring our ribs together. We're gonna squeeze our glutes and in our thighs so we can make our legs light. We're not tenting in our hips. I'm gonna press out on one, not shrugging my shoulders, because then I'm going to float up with straight arms to the swan position, pressing through my arms over the foot bar as if I'm a turtle pressing out of its shell. I'm going to press back again, trying not to shrug and come back in. So I don't want to use my shoulders here. I want to keep the emphasis under the arms the whole time. Squeeze your legs together even tighter. If you're feeling it in your low back, draw your belly up, 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 up and in even tighter. If that doesn't work, squeeze your legs together even tighter. If that doesn't work, please don't do swan. Good guys, one more. And back in. Now from there, I'm going to step off carefully. I'm going to get rid of my sticky mat. Please do whatever you feel is best for yourself. We're going to be doing some side arms. We're going to sit at the back of the box. So if you don't want to change your springs, sit back here, and then as you feel like the spring tension is too light, you can inch your way forward a little bit more. But you can also change your spring to one blue spring. And if you do that, you might definitely want to consider adjusting your body weight from there. When we go to the back, you can leave one blue spring and get more ab work, or you can change it to one red spring again, but then you're going to want to do the same spring tension on the other side arms that you're doing on this side. To begin, I'm going to go ahead, sit facing my right side. I have my feet on the carriage because I've opted for the heavier spring. And if I dangle my feet, then I use my body weight to move the spring, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to bring my hand in like a blade at my side. So my hand straight down, and I just bend it. My hand is a blade in line with my shoulder, and I lift it up, shaving the face, and I lower it. And I lift, and I lower. With this spring tension, I'm not able to come up as high as I would be able to, say, with a lighter spring. And that's fine. I want to keep the tension under my arm, keep my shoulder down, and maintain a neutral spine, sitting straight up. Let's do one more. Now, from there, I'm going to take my right hand to take my left strap. Take my left hand, put it on my hip. I'm going to hug my bicep into my right side, but my forearm is coming across my belly button. From there, I'm just going to open the door, leaving my bicep by my ribs, and close it. And open and close. Don't lean in to the tension on this one to make it happen. This is a rotator, a shoulder rotation exercise. If it's too heavy, please change your spring tension immediately. Here's 8. Now, staying here, I'm going to do a pirate. I'm going to go ahoy there and bring it back down. I'm not going to bring my arm out in front of me. I'm not going to bend. I'm not going to use my shoulder. I'm going to keep my shoulder down and then bring it back. Ahoy there. I'm working completely in parallel. After this, if you so choose to, you can move on to unsheath the sword, or you can continue with this exercise. So from there, we're going to pull it up, extend our arm out, bring it back across, and extend it across the body, and look down. You can follow your hand with your eyes if you like. Pull it straight, and extend, and bend, and across. Don't swing it. The slower you go, the harder it is. There's always one side that's harder than the other. I'm pretty sure it's the other side. That should get pretty funny. Here's 6. Here's 7. Next, we're going to do a rotational exercise. It's very important to have control on this one. Now, I'm going to take my left hand again and press it into the handle and pull it so it's coming across the front of my sternum, and gently rest my right hand on top of my left hand. I'm going to keep this strap or handle in front of my sternum the whole time. I'm going to rotate towards the back. The straps are going to go any further than my body does, and then I'm going to rotate towards the front. Again, the strap's not going to go any further than my body does. It is a smaller movement. Do I know that you can move further? If you move your arms, yes. But this is just a body rotation exercise to strengthen our obliques. Let's do 2 more. Now, on this next exercise, we're going to be facing the uprights towards the back of the machine. Your head rest should still be down from the reverse ab curl exercise we did. You can scoot all the way back if you'd like a little bit more, and so your calves are into the box, or you can scoot forward and bring your toes off. I'm going to try to scoot forward first. We're going to see how it goes. If you put one blue spring on for your side arms, this is a double arm side. You may want to consider the red spring or stay on the blue spring so you don't have to change it when you go back to the other side arms. I'm going to put the handles all the way up past my elbows on my biceps. I'm going to sit up tall. I'm not going to lean back. I'm going to stack my shoulders over my hips. My elbows are a little wider than the uprights, so I can pull them apart and flatten them across my shoulder blades. Now, just like chest expansion, I'm going to bring my arms out to a field goal without popping in my ribs. I'm going to tweeze the bottom tips of my shoulder blades. I feel this in the backs of my shoulders. Come back and open and close. Here's 4. 5, keep your arms at 90 degrees the whole time. Don't lean back to get there, right? Just open. And open. Now stay here. Now we're gonna flat back, hinge back, bringing our arms with us. Draw your belly button to the spine. Imagine you're between 2 panes of glass and sit back up. It's easier to do flat back hinge here with this spring tension, so you feel more support, so you can really wrap your ribs, draw the belly button to the spine. Sit back up even taller. I like to hinge forward ever so slightly at the end of my flat backs. Just release my hip flexors. Squeeze your glutes. So let's do 2 more. After this, we're going to be doing some exercises where the straps stay where they are, but we're going to bring our finger blades to our temples. Our elbows are in our periphery. We're not pulling back, right? Flaring in our ribs. Now we're going to tuck our tail, leaving our fingertips, my middle fingers right at my temple, and then I'm going to articulate back up to sitting up tall. I'm going to tuck my tail and roll back. Still keeping nice wide flat shoulder blades. Lots of back work here, right? When your feet start to become light, that's your edge. Don't go back any further. Drawing my belly button to spine, drawing my tips of my ribs and the tips of my hips. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 1 more. Now sit up tall. Now pressing with the backs of your shoulder blade, not your shoulder. We're going to rotate towards the right, just ever so gently. I'm just rotating to the corner of my reformer, and I'm coming back to center, and then I'm rotating to the other corner, and I'm coming back to center. I know when I come back to center because I have equal weight in both of my straps. And then I'm going to the right and center. I'm squeezing my legs the whole time. I'm not releasing my inner thighs. Let's do 2 more to each side. If this is too much for you, you can go ahead and do it without straps. And then we're going to do the other side arms. Good. Go ahead and release your straps. Pick them real fast. Give it a shake. Lots of shoulder work, right? Lots of great arm work. If you need to change your spring tension, please do so at this time. We want to use the same spring tension on this side that we're going to now on the right side. So I'm coming to sit on my right side. Again, I have the red spring on, so I'm going to put my feet on the carriage because when I try to move the spring without it, I have to use body weight to move it because I do not have the strength to do that. If you do, that's great, but there's no shame in using a heavier weight and placing your feet on to make sure that you're evenly weighted on both sits bones. I'm going to bring my bicep in, bend my elbow so my arm is in line with my forearm's in line with my bicep, my hand's a blade, and then I'm going to shave the face up and lower. This is my weaker arm. I'm shaking like a leaf. I have a nice neutral spine. If you have a mirror nearby, go ahead and take a look and make sure you're neutral. Don't allow your hips to shift. Good. Final one. Now take your left hand, find the strap, squeeze your bicep into your ribs, and bring that hand across your belly button. Take your right hand, place it on your hip. Now open the door and close the door. Again, don't lean your body weight into this. If this is too heavy, please change the weight because we're working in delicate shoulder areas. Here's 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we're gonna do the pirate, guys. So stay right here, we're gonna go, ahoy, or arr. Again, we're flattening and widening across the shoulder blade, and we're only bringing the arm up to the side. It's like a pirate nudge. Imagine you're working between 2 panes of glass. Again, if you have a mirror, go ahead and look to the side. Make sure you're not moving in any funny ways. We have 2 more. If you like this exercise, please continue with this. If you so choose to, go to unsheath the sword. We're gonna bring our strap up to our shoulder and then extend. And bring the strap back to the shoulder and release it down. Follow your eyes with your handle or hand if you'd like. Do not use momentum as you bend and then straighten and then bend and across. Try not to lean into the weight. Oh, the second side's always harder anyways. 4, halfway there. Here's 5. Make sure that you're bending and then straightening and then bending and then across. 1 more. Last one, best one. Good. I'm going to place this handle in my right hand as I rotate towards the front. Here I have 1 red spring on. We're going to do some arm work facing the front. I'm scooched to the back of my box. Don't fall off of it. I'm going to pull my handles so that my biceps are by my ribs. I'm going to squeeze in gently on the box with my inner thighs and wrap my glutes. So I'm still getting some lower body workout as well. I'm going to draw my belly button in, wrap my ribs, and I'm going to hinge forward slightly in a flat back. From there, I'm going to press my arms up with a long lever or long arm to where my sternum and 12 meet, and then lower. Here's 7. After this, we're going to do short lever, which I should have started with, but I did it wrong. Whoops. 3, 2, 1. Now instead of going back with the straight arm, go ahead and pull the handles into your natural waist, tweezing the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, bringing your shoulders back. Don't go like this to find it. Just squeeze. And now press it out to your sternum 12 and pull it back. Brush your elbows by your side and brush them as they go back. Keep it nice and narrow. Draw the belly button to the spine. Nice long neck. Don't look down. If you're able to. Wait, and here is 8. From there, we're going to go to hug a tree. So I'm going to bring my arms into a round position, like you're hugging a tree or you're holding a giant bowl of Halloween candy, is what one teacher says. We're going to inhale, tap our fingers in front of our sternum 12 and exhale to open. Don't come behind your body again. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Pause. Inhale, don't move. Exhale and tap. Inhale and open. Exhale and tap. One more. We're gonna go into some tricep work. So I'm going to bring my hands, I'm gonna put these right here just real fast to show you, into a diamond shape, like this. And I'm going to place them in front of my head. If you can't keep the diamond shape and come up while leaving your shoulders down, you can extend into the Supergirl position. This is excellent modification. If you feel yourself start popping into your shoulders, pull it out to Supergirl, bring it back to a diamond. It's the same for the shape, the head behind the head, but if you find that salute is your thing, go ahead and stay on that. So we will do both today, twice. Actually, we're going to do it kneeling as well. So I'm going to come into the diamond shape. From here, I'm going to flat back hinge, trying to bring my whole body from the tip top of my head up through my tailbone, up in a straight line to where the wall and the ceiling meet. From there, I'm going to press, and I'm going to pull. If I was going to do Supergirl, I would look like this. Supergirl, and come back. And Supergirl, wrap your ribs. Good. We have 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now without moving your body, if you want to go to shave the head, slide it back here and press it up, forward, and back. Don't move your body. Now if I wanted to do Supergirl here, I go Supergirl and back. Sometimes I like to do Supergirl. I like the feeling of the straps pulling my shoulder blades into my back. Belly button up and in. 2 more. And then we're going to go into some small arm circles. Well, not small. We're going to go up to the shoulders. So we're going to do long lever, serving, and then we're going to open to a T and lower to the hips. And up and open and lower. Here's 30. Don't move the body. And now reverse. We're going to go T, serving, and lower. T, serving, and lower. T, serving, and lower. Whenever I bring it to a T, it's always slightly in my periphery, so slightly forward. Good. Now from here, guys, we're going to go ahead and peg our straps. We're going to go into side lying. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of my box. I'm going to grab my ball. I'm going to bring my headrest up. I'm going to keep one red spring on. I'm going to come lying down on my side. I'm going to tuck my shirt into my hip so you can see my body position a little better. Actually, I'm going to drop my headrest, I'm sorry, for our next exercise. I'm going to place my foot on the front edge of the foot bar so that my knee is lined up with my foot bar. I'm lifting up out of my side. So my ribs are on my hips on, I have a slight lift to my side. I'm going to extend my leg using my inner thigh to keep it lifted. If this does not work for me, I'm going to bend my knee into the carriage. Now from there, I'm going to press and come back in. I'm pressing through my heel. I'm using my glutes and hamstring again on this side. Good. Keep that lift. Place your top hand on the shoulder block and your bottom hand around the shoulder block or on the peg. Keep it nice and slow and deliberate, really squeezing through the muscles. Now stay out on this next one. Now the reason we kept our whole foot on is because it's ankle work. Come up to the ball of your foot and tap your heel and rise and tap. 4, 5. Really squeeze that inner thigh to keep that bottom leg up. Lift up out of the side. And now drop your heel and come back in. Don't move your leg, but slide your foot back slightly and turn it out onto the ball of your foot in a high heel position, in a Pilates V position. So don't sway back here. Squeeze that glute, rotate the femur in the hip socket. When you can't bring your foot back any further without dropping into that glute, you've gone too far. And now we're going to press out and come back in. Now rotate the femur in the hip socket and press, squeezing both glutes. Don't pop into it. Drive it up with the muscles, not with momentum. If you're going like this, you're driving out with momentum. You want to slow it down and really use the muscles. 2 more. Lift up out of the side closest to the mat. Now using the inner thigh, the bottom leg, up and down pulses. 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Now 10 circles in each direction, tiny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and come on in. The reason I left our headrest down is because now we're going to go into bridging. To get to the other side, I'm going to add a light spring. So now I have on one medium, one light spring on my machine. That's one red, one blue. I'm going to come down onto my back. My headrest is down. My ball is between my thighs, above my knees. I'm on my heels. I'm going to give a slight squeeze on the ball. I'm going to hinge bridge up. So I'm going to find a neutral spine to begin. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and lift everything up. Make sure I'm not flaring my ribs. And then I'm going to lower and tap, squeeze and lift. Drawing my knees over the foot bar, keeping the carriage in at the bumper and lift. And now pulse up with your glutes for 10, 9, 8, tiny, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In on the ball for 10, 9, 8. Inner thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge bridge down. Now come on to the balls of your feet in a Pilates V position, very narrow Pilates V, so we're still holding on to the ball, right? In a high heel position. This is an articulation bridge. Scooch away from the shoulder block slightly, imprint your spine, tuck your tail and lift, driving your knees over the foot bar. Oh my gosh, my hamstrings! And articulate down. At any time you feel your hamstrings, stretch it out. We're going to stretch out at the end of this. So articulate up, 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 up. And lower. One more. And articulate up. Stay there and lower and lift your heels for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep the carriage under the bumper by use your hamstrings and no pulse in the ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Articulate down. Oh! Take the ball, feet up to the ceiling, roll the ball up your legs, tug your tail, stretch out your hamstrings, your back and your glutes. Flex and point your feet if you'd like. Wherever you want that ball is great. It feels good up there. It feels good right here. Good. We're going to come to the other side for the other sideline legs. Put your ball on the headrest. Take off that light spring so you have just one red spring on. We're going to come down onto our sides. Line up with the back of our machine. Place our foot, the whole foot on the front of the foot bar. Lift up out of the side closest to the mat. Place our bottom hand, wrap around, grab our peg or our shoulder block. Put the top hand on the shoulder block and press out through the heel. And come back in. Don't move your upper body. Just flex at the hip flexor or bend at the hip flexor and straighten. You're not using the hip flexor. It's just bending and straightening, affecting nothing else in your body. Here's 5. Oh, I'm sorry, straighten your leg. Woo! Where am I? And if you can't straighten your leg, go ahead and bend your knee. Sorry about that, guys. Here's 9. Keep your knee lined up with the foot bar, not up or not down, or not above or below. And here's 10. Stay out, and we're going to rise up to the ball of our foot and tap. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and final 1, and come in. Now, rotate the femur in the hip socket so you're on the ball of the foot. Slide your foot back until you feel your hips start to drop. You want to pull it back until you can maintain it, maintain that lift in your side, and then in a high heel position, press out and resist it back in. We're still just straightening at the hip flexor and bending. Nothing's happening in the body here, right? Sometimes I like to place my hand at the hip flexor so I can make sure that I'm not sinking down, right? I can feel my thigh coming into my hand and then lengthening away from it. Continue to rotate, lift, draw everything in, wrapping the ribs, bringing the belly button to the spine. Stay out, use your inner thigh impulse up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then forward and back an inch. bend your knee to come back in. Oh, go ahead and come on up to sitting. We're going to keep one bread spring on, and we're going to face the back or the uprights again to do some more arm work. I'm going to extend my feet long. If you'd like, you can bend your knees in the headrest. All you really need to do is make sure you have a hand's width from the back of your tailbone to the edge of the machine. We have one bread spring on. So from here, we're going to tuck our tail and roll back. And articulate back up again. If you cannot fit both of your feet or both of your legs to the headrest, you can stack across one leg over the other. Here's 3. We're going to 5 here. And tuck your tail, articulate. I have a gentle hold on my straps. If I did not have the assistance of the springs, I would not be able to come back as far, but I would still be able to come back, right? Now flip your palms up. Arms a little wider than the uprights, but no wider than the reformer, and bicep curl. Don't move your bicep, just move your forearm. 3. Belly button to spine, ribs to hip, nice loose neck. Your spring shouldn't go slack at any time. You're in control of the tension. Don't let momentum take you away. Here's 9, 10, straighten your arms all the way, articulate up. Now flip your palms down, we're gonna row next. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail, roll back, and now pull and release and chill. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and articulate up. Now from here, we're going to stay sitting up tall. We're going to hold on to the straps with our palms facing each other. But when I press out, I'm going to hook the handles with my thumb so that I'm pressing with the back of my shoulders. Now when my hands come around to the front, the fingers are going to grab it again. But then after a certain point, when I pull it to the side, my thumbs will take over. Then my fingers will take over. So I'm not holding on to it for dear life is my point. If this is too heavy for you, you are welcome to change to a blue. Here's 6, 7. Keep your hands in line with your sternum 12 finger bra strap so they're not up so high they're getting into your neck. Now stay out on 10 and pulse back for 1, 2. This is heavy, so the pulses probably aren't going to be real big. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and forward. One more exercise with the T, flat back. We're going to open, and then we're going to rotate flat back, hinge back, and reach our right hand down while the left hand lifts. Come back up, and reach our arms forward. So it's a flat back rotational hinge. Open to the T, hinge back, and rotate. Lift back up to the T, and arms forward. Open to a T, flat back hinge, and rotate down to the right arm. And up. Woo, these are hard, right? And rotate, drawing our ribs together. This is the point where it would be beneficial and also harder to have a red spring. We have 5 sets. This is set 3, so we're halfway there. Here's 4. One more. After this, we're going to go into knee stretch, facing the uprights. Woo! And then we are going to go in to some work facing the front. We're going to leave one bread spring on. We're going to choke up on the straps though. So I'm on my knees. I'm squeezing my glutes to open up the front of my hip flexors. I'm in a neutral spine. I stack my shoulder over my hips over my knees. It is taxing on my hamstrings to maintain this position. If I lean back, it's a lot easier. If I lean forward or I break at the hips, it's a lot easier. But we want to start in a flat back. I'm going to put my straps on my wrists, and I'm going to choke up. This is knee stretch. It's a flat back exercise, which we've already been doing. We're only taking it to our knees, so that when we turn around and we're on our knees, we'll be used to the position. Raise your arms up just a little bit, not so high you skin your shoulders, so just a scotch to get rid of the slack in your straps. Now flat back, hinge, back, 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 squeeze your glutes the whole time. Think of a bridge. You're bridging right here on your knees, and come back up, maintaining neutral spine. Don't break at the hips, squeeze your glutes the whole time. Flat back, hinge, back, 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 back. And up. You're probably not going to go back as far as you would normally if you have more weight, obviously. Press in through fronts of your shins. Let's do 2 more. Good job, guys. And now it's time for the final one. And up. Now, hold both your straps. I'm holding them on my left hand. You can hold them in your right hand. Carefully rotate to face the front. I'm going to tuck my toes, put my shoulders against the shoulder blocks. Make sure I didn't cross my straps. You can do these exercises from here, or you can meet me up here in the knee stretch position. We're going to do salute and shave the head and arm circles here or here. So if you're here, squeeze your glutes. Bring your diamond shape to the front. Think of hinging forward ever so gently, not so much that you're really creating a bend, but something that's going to give you a little bit more tension. And press it out and pull it back. That goes for if you're sitting on your heels too. Now don't forget about Supergirl if you want to, right? Really find the rib wrap and the belly button to spine here. Squeeze the glutes strongly. Think of tucking the tail slightly. Think of finding your plank here. Like if you're a Supergirl, your arms are a little higher, obviously, but you should feel more of a plank position. Now switch the hands to the back for shave the head if you want, or stay where you were. While you're here too, don't forget about Supergirl. This is a harder position because we've removed the box, and so you have less support. We have 3. We have 2. We have 1. Now, bring your hands down by your side, not behind you. We're going to do the arm circles. So up to the sternum 12th rib, open to a T, and lower. Up to the sternum 12th rib, open to the T, and lower. If you're using momentum, you will fall over, so be very careful. And now reverse. Open to the T, bring it to serving, and lower. Here's 2. Here's 3. 1 more, and here's 4. Lower, sit back, carefully come off your toes, and then peg your straps. Leaving it on one red, I'm going to come off to the left side. We're going to do scooter, we're going to do mermaid, and we're going to end with those stretches. Whoop, okay? So, I'm going to place my right foot up on the carriage. I'm going to tuck my toes, press my heels into the shoulder block. I'm going to bend my left knee. So I'm sitting back, and I want to lean back into it. I don't want to lean my weight forward. I want to lean back, so I'm getting lots of glute work, right? And then I'm carefully going to press the carriage out with my heel. The reason it's light is because we're going to add some ankle work on at the end. So here's 3. Square your hips off, draw your abs up and in. Make sure you're not swaying out in your low back. Tuck the tail slightly. Straighten your arms if you can to press back and really sit into that glute. 9. Now come in, bring your toes up so you're not tucking them anymore. Still try to press in through the heel. And now come up to the ball or foot and tap your heel. And up or your foot. 3, 4, 5. Really press in through the glutes. Here's 9. And here's 10. Now come on in. I'm going going to come to sitting on the carriage this way in a mermaid stretch. I have both my legs stacked. You can come to a Z-sit position. You can come to a position where your leg closest to the shoulder blocks is in front. You can sit with both legs in front, or you can sit crisscross applesauce. Whatever your body is allowing you to do. Don't place your hand right by your side. Bring it slightly in front of you with more weight on your pinky blade edge. Float your left arm up to your side and reach for the wall in the ceiling. Pressing more weight into your pinky blade edge to drive your shoulder blade down your back. Now bend your elbow, sit up, place that left hand across your knee, and reach up with your right hand, bicep by your ear, and reach for the ceiling. Again, don't crunch your shoulder. Come back up, hand on the foot bar, and reach up and over. And come up, arm across, and over. One more. And up. Now, let's go to the other side. For scooter. I'm going to place my hands on the foot bar, place my left foot on the carriage, tuck my toes, press my heel, and bend both knees. Line my knees up. Sit back into that glute and press through my heel. And come back. And press. Again, I'm tucking my tail slightly. I have my hips square. If you have a mirror nearby, try to take a look. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, bring your foot up so your toes are totally against the shoulder block. Still imagine you're pressing through the heels. And now ball a foot and tap your heel. 2, 3, bend that knee. I did not. 4, 5, 6, sit back into it. One more, and now bring it in. Now, we're coming to mermaid again. I'm going to sit in classic mermaid. You can sit in Z-sit. You can bring one foot in front. You can bring the other foot in front, or you can sit crisscross applesauce. If you're sitting crisscross applesauce, please flip the switch of your legs. I'm going to bring my hand in front of my body, in my pinky blade edge. Float my right arm up, straighten my arm, drop my shoulder, and reach for the wall of the ceiling meet. Bending my left elbow, I'm going to use my right obliques to sit up. Bring my hand across my knees and reaching for the wall and the ceiling meet on my right side of my left hand. I'm going to come back up, gently place my left hand on the foot bar, reach up and over, drawing my abs in, drawing my ribs up and in. I'm going to come up, and I'm going to reach over again. Final one, guys. And reach up. And over to the other side. Find the foot bar. Go ahead and rotate your body so you're facing the front again, with your legs on the other side, at the front of the carriage. For final exercise, place your hands wide on the foot bar. Don't forget to press in slightly your pinky blade edge. We're going to do the cat-cow spine stretch, chest expansion exercise. We're going to press in. We're not pressing down through our back, but we might be able to find a little bit more mobility. And lift it up. And articulate up, 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 lifting the sternum. I know for sure this feels nicer for me now, right? I cannot speak for everyone. And one more. And then we'll do some more side bending. I don't feel like there's enough side bending in our life. Come back to neutral. We'll reach over for the right. And lift. Again, guys, put more pinky blade edge in the hand that's on the foot bar so that you don't raise your shoulder blade up to your ear. Try to imagine that you're moving between two panes of glass. No rotation here, right? Now, bring your right hand to the left side of the reformer and see if you can rotate a little bit further. And then go bring your left hand to the right side and rotate a little bit further. But don't forget, press down. Don't yank yourself into position. Press down and see about the rotation from there. Imagine you're wringing out a wet towel or a sponge. Getting all the gross stuff out of your muscles. One more. Come back to center. Take a nice big inhale up. Chest lift if you like. And exhale down. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or need any modifications, please feel free to reach out. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.